All right, go. Okay, the P200 has a fantastic Sony image module. It gives you 30 times zoom, great for any size room. It's great in low light and has awesome color rendition. On top of that, we have our BirdDog NDI processing engine, which gives you the highest quality pictures at the lowest latency. It's compatible with any NDI device on the planet and just gives you the best outputs. We have our brand new user interface with NDI version 5, which gives you waveforms and vector scopes to make sure you're properly exposed. It also gives you unlimited control as far as color control and using your camera. In addition to this, it sounds strange, but we can do pan, tilt and zoom at the same time. Try some other cameras, they can't all do it. The P200 is a fantastic camera that's got every type of connection you could want, from NDI with power over Ethernet, SDI, HDMI, any control interface. It's got a great big tally on the top. It's a really great camera. How to do with the time? And the cool thing is, for a limited time, if you buy 3 P200s, you get a free PTZ controller.
Well, it is that time again, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My name is BirdDog John, and I am back in action.
In those scenarios, it's good to neuralize the cameras. You guys know that best.
Very straightforward. Plug it in, go to the web UI, link the source, walk away. You know, like super simple. I keep looking over at the chat, and I keep seeing you are full of it. Tasty, spicy meat snacks. Covered in flavor. I mean, you can't go wrong. So what's going on? We've got a handful of folks here in the chat, and I really appreciate that. What's up, mate? Hey, Warren, how are you? Appreciate it. Hey, Robbie, how's it going, man? You're just talking about you. What's going on, Tom? Ahoy. How is it going? What's going on, Go Web? Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out with us again today. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm in this video more than anyone but John. It's true, NetApp. You are, I'm going to cut this up and put this in the next intro. What's happening, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. Welcome back to another hour of the BirdDog Live Support Show. I am BirdDog John. Hopefully things are going well for the beginning of your week. They have been nothing but crazy and busy over here at BirdDog Support, and so that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing. We just, just gonna keep going. Now today I'm using my in-ear monitor piece, my little Secret Service monitor, so we'll see how well that goes. I actually quite like it. The issue obviously is it's so cheap that it's not really great sound, and so my preferred go-to in this studio for an inexpensive headphone are these Audio Technicas. I think they're M40s if I'm not mistaken. I can look that up if anybody's actually interested in that information, but this thing is not expensive at all, but it's great because it leaves my ears mostly open and good to go there. So, and of course, as always, I have my cup of coffee and my bottle of water. Everything, all my beverage containers are matte black. So anyway, this show not brought to you by Ember Mugs. Keep your coffee hot and your creamer curdled. All right, so hopefully you guys are doing well. Let's jump over to the chat, see what's going on over there. There's kind of there's not a lot to talk about, but we do have some stuff we want to excitedly tell you about, so that's good. If you notice in the title here, transmission, what's going on from New York City? That's cool. Hopefully you're doing well over there. Thanks for tuning in today. Good morning from Winnipeg. Hey, I got cousins in Winnipeg that I rarely see. so hopefully things are okay up there. But hey, what's going on from Winnipeg? That's pretty cool. Angus, good morning. How are you, man? Good to see you again, as always. Does BirdDog have a Discord server? We don't have an official BirdDog server, but we do have an unofficial BirdDog server. And let me see if there's a way. Let me find it for you, because we do. And it's handled by some really great people. In particular, there is a guy named Beep Chirp who's usually on there. And all right, somebody that's in the Discord group put that in here, because I, for some reason, can't. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. Yoink. Nightbot should kick off here. So let's see if Nightbot will do it. Boom. So Nightbot, this is the official Discord path. And then let me see if I can copy it and I'll put it in everybody's chat. Let me go over to Twitch real quick and grab that address. It is the unofficial Bird Dog. Unofficial Bird Dog Discord channel. And also, I'm going to check my audio here. Check. It's a little low, eh? Let's see. Let's see if I dial up the preamp, if that's any better. We'll see. We'll see if that's any better. Okay. And of course, if you join the chat late on Twitch, then it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, let me know how the audio sounds, because it does sound a little low to me, and I've been doing some stuff with, and it may just be my speaker. I mean, it may be this crappy earpiece, actually. That's more likely what's going on here. But, and that is a low resolution of the poor PF120. So let's change that up. Boom. Much better. Sorry about that, folks. So, hey, what's going on from Stockholm, Sweden? Hopefully you're doing well over there. Thanks for jumping on again. Hello from Cincinnati. Oh, man. I've got people that live around Cincinnati, folks in my family and whatever. And, yeah, Cincinnati, that's probably pretty chilly down there right now. You are south of me. Facebook user says, hey, what's going on from Southwest UK? Where specifically in the southwest of the UK? I would be interested to know. I should also jump over and find out who you are and call you by your first name. Hey, I'm having a great week. Hoping you are too. Yes, Angus, it's been busy, but it has been a good week. Yeah, lots of stuff going on in my brain. Not even work related necessarily. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And then last night we got word that there were some releases of some updates for firmwares and whatever. And we're going to do one of those today on the Bird Dog Play that I have here in the office. So we'll witness that together. Who knows how that's going to go? Hey, from Portugal, what's going on, Jorg? Is it Jorg? Is that correct? Or am I saying that? Am I butchering that? I'm really sorry if I am. But hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in from Portugal. That's really cool. Audio is better now. Gain boost helped. It sounds decent here. Okay, good. Yeah, I've been messing with it a bit and actually doing some recording for some education stuff, and have been changed the audio a little bit, so we'll go with that for now. Ooh, Exeter. That's cool. Very cool. Update party. Yeah, it definitely here. Let's get this party started properly with a little. Hopefully you can hear that. Are my sound effects actually coming through? Hopefully. Oh, wait. Are they? I don't even know where that channel is now for some reason. I can close this one, I guess. Hey, let me know if no, there's no sound effects. Oh, for crying out loud. Stream Deck. Yep, I know why. Now let's try. Hey-oh, there it is. Why did these all change? Ah, that's so frustrating. How long has that been wrong? Dang it. They're all different. Why is that? Stream Deck, is it? I wonder if like an update happened or something on Stream Deck and it changed all of these to default, which is not what I wanted. Jeez.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, okay, I see them all happening now. Interesting. Man, do I got to check that every time? That's really annoying. This should not be the case. Let me make sure they're all done now. Yikes. Oh man, they changed the font? What the heck happened here? Not cool. Stream Deck, not cool. You're supposed to save my settings, not change them. Lame. Well, sorry about that, folks. Here I was thinking I was adding effects into the show. And So, note to self, if you are running a Stream Deck and you're using the effects player on there, be sure you check it before the show and before you plan to use it because it might change your audio output. All right, back to the show here. Update party. Hi from New Jersey. What's going on, Dark Acid? How are you? Good to see you again. Snowy Texas. Pandorica has had some snow this morning, evidently. So, well, that's fun. So the state shut down. Is that what I'm understanding? No sound effects. Yep, there's the effects. Okay, good. What's going on, Dark Acid? Hey, we all needed that air horn. Yeah, I know, right? Like it's a little gotta get that party started. So, yeah. Why do you think we use BitFocus and not Stream Deck? So, is this a common occurrence across Stream Deck? Because that's really annoying. Okay, Facebook user. Hey, so with the new Silicon 2 firmware beta kicking around that adds SRT as a possible WAN transport protocol, what's the recommended way of synchronizing multiple camera setups? Is SEI timecode in the mix? I can receive either using Nimble Streamer from Sienna. Okay, so first of all, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that I don't have eyes on. No, SEI timecode is not in the mix, and I don't know what Sienna Syntify is. So those are things I can't speak to. Here's the thing about the timecode on NDI cameras is it's not like you understand Genlock for SDI, okay? There isn't really a thing yet that does exactly what the timecode synchronization that Genlock provides with an actual Genlock generator. There isn't really that in the NDI world, and so there is a way to synchronize timecodes with Genlock on NDI Genlock for NDI 5, and we talked about that briefly in a previous stream about how you can match all of the time codes to a single camera source, and then they all kind of lock into that, and you can then adjust the camera delay by whatever that variation is, and it's usually, oh my goodness, that camera is also on low bandwidth. Let's change that, folks. Boy, I really need to check out there we go. Need to check out my settings before I go live, evidently. So yeah, there's kind of a Genlock or synchronization thing that you can do, but bringing video in over IP, there isn't really a genuine like Genlockable way of doing it, like we understand like a timecode Genlock generator for SDI. So it's either not there yet or it's not a priority. I don't know what the deal is there, but it just isn't the same. I'll put it that way. So Silicon 2, if you're trying to use SRT, you're also converting it down to a very low bit rate, and so you're probably going to introduce some level of I won't say the word latency because it's a dirty word, but you are going to be encoding it down to a low bit rate. So interpret that however you wish. And so getting it across, then streaming it across the cloud and getting it back, you're going to need to, and here's the thing, you're going to need to figure out what the latency is from your remote to your production suite. And when you do that, it's going to be different for everybody because latency from here to Texas is one thing. Latency from here to Melbourne is another, right? Going from here to Norway, where our cloud engineer lives, is different than if you're going from like here to Chicago, which is, I'm like north of Detroit, everybody. So that's different. And those are different distances, tangible, physical, differences. And so they don't all just go up to the same satellite and come back down. Some of them go through the interwebs of the great outdoors. So there's differences. You're going to need to time it, and you're going to need to figure out what the latency really is, and then adjust it from there. Hey, can I put the regular, what's going on, Daniel? Can I put the regular Flex in firmware on a Flex backpack? if it's just sitting there like all the other, why would you do that? Why not put the Flex backpack firmware on your Flex backpack? Right? Am I missing something? Why would you put no? Don't put the wrong firmware. I will never recommend you put the wrong firmware on the device. Unless there's no feature in Flex In that's not in Flex Backpack, so I'm not sure why you do that. Let's see if you have a reason why you might be doing that. Hey, what's going on, Brayton? How are you, man? You're doing well. I've had issues with Stream Deck making other hardware disappear at random. I gave mine away. Wow. Are you using X keys or what are you using? Or are you using anything? I've got X keys as well. I could probably use that too. I like that I could have multiple pages on Stream Deck. And so I've got lots of different options here to play sounds and call fade. For example, I've got a cue to fade music for the beginning and the starting and ending splash screens. Just because I found that sometimes I need to have the music off when I go to that transition, but whatever. Is the P100 still being produced, or is it being phased out with the newer cams? Yeah, so the production of the P100 has officially stopped, I think, but there are P100s still for sale. So yes, the newer cameras, the 110 and the 120, are the next generation of the 100 series, and so those cameras are taking precedence and are being created. So the 110, 120 is the next gen. What's going on, Will? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully Will is doing well. Still no firmware updates for the mini converter? Correct. There are still no updates for the mini converter. As the mini is probably, a year? It's been almost a year and probably a year since the last firmware update. So obviously the converter line that gets the highest priority is the most expensive one, and so that's the 4K family. So that one normally gets firmwares first, and then Flex is right after that, and now Play is after that, and wall plate, and then Studio and Mini will be after that. So I think they're still predicting by second quarter, but that's a prediction, not a guarantee. I don't know. I haven't heard any rumors, which I really like the Mini because I've got one here and it works really well and it's rock solid. I know that the announcement, and Dan said this on my show, so the announcement is they're getting in the i5. It's just a matter of when, because I know that the reason, let's just say the engineers are strapped for time. They're booked. They're all booked. So I wasn't sure if there was any architectural difference or it's just the case design. There is a voltage difference because it's the back or the Flex In says PoE plus, but it only draws like 9 watts. And the backpack can take up to 19, I think, because it does 15 watts out of the backpack. Now, oh no, that's not true. The Flex In has a DC out, right? So they're both the same. But yes, it's the way that the circuits are doing the power and managing the power to enable the backpack function. So I would never tell you to put Flex In on a backpack. You should consider those two different products because of their power delivery methods. There may be some sort of code in there that messes with it. So yeah, just be careful. I mean, they're yours. If you buy them, they're yours. You own them. So if you want to put the wrong firmware on them and see how that goes, but the support guy will never tell you to do that because that sounds like an RMA to me, and I don't want to do that. So don't do it. Do it at your own risk. Put it that way. I don't think, honestly, I don't think you're able to at this point. You shouldn't be able to. There should be a mechanism in there that says this is the wrong firmware. So hopefully that's in there. I'm using MIDI controllers at the moment. Oh, nice. I'm considering X keys and Scarhoy, but it's just not urgent. Yeah, I've looked into that MIDI controller business because of some stuff I'm doing outside of work with Ableton Live, and very interested in, what do you use for MIDI controller? Like, are you just using? Do you have a panel, or do you have a specific product you're using for that? Some people just use like a keyboard and they press the button, but Anyway, I digress. Stream Deck would be great again if only I can get my hands on a Pi 4. Yeah, those things are rare. Those are really, since pandemic hit, those things, manufacturing obviously had issues finding parts for those, and so they're only now coming back into stock. I have a handful of those wireless Pis, and then I have a couple of Pi 3s, but I haven't ever got my hands on a Pi 4. Both are running 192. I'm just wondering if it's actually the same thing. They are very similar in architecture, but they should have a mechanism that doesn't let you put Flex in on a backpack and vice versa. If it does, we need to know that, because that's a big no-no. You're not supposed to be able to do that anymore. What's going on? MTash down in LA? What's going on? I passed through LA. LAX, when was that? Well, I guess in August is when I was last in LA. But I just was in the airport. I didn't actually do anything. Yeah, I didn't actually do anything in LA. Just sat there. Actually, I ran through the terminal to catch my flight to Melbourne and back. Hey, what would be the best Bird Dog product to convert 1080 SDI, full fat NDI, to full fat that can create a multicast NDI stream to feed multiple plays? So the best thing there is probably in the current fleet, if it's just 1080, if you get your hands on a studio, by all means, go for it. But obviously the 4K SDI is probably the answer there, because that's the product to do that with. So that would encode 1080 SDI 1080p, hopefully 60 or 30 or something common. 1080 SDI into full NDI running 4K. A 4K SDI is probably the way to do that. I don't think, I mean, the quad is the next option, but it's way more expensive. So if you're just needing a single channel, that would be the product to do that with. There's a beta release for the keyboard controller to get a quicker camera switch time. Yes. So the keyboard, there is a release coming up for keyboard that I noticed was not on the website. So if you want that beta release, I'm going to tell you a trade secret here. If you want that beta release, which I think is called 224, you need to email help@birddog.tv. And those guys will hook you up. They will get you that. We've been actually seeding that out with a beta for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I correct me if I'm wrong, boys. But yes, there is a beta for keyboard that will that'll make the switching cameras faster over NDI. And you need to reach out to help@birddog.tv and they can get you that. It should be put on the website pretty soon. I think it's been vetted. So you are very welcome, Daniel. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Thanks for asking your question. Appreciate that. Hey, so what's the support team like in the U.S.? Is there off-warranty repairs? I'm looking to buy a used P100, hoping that it'll continue to be supported with updates and repairs. Okay, so let's talk about repairs, because that is the hot item, and I'll tell you where we are in the process. So the goal is obviously to offer out-of-warranty repairs as a chargeable service. That is one thing that we really want to do, mostly because it means that you stand behind the product and you can get the product fixed and what have you. The real issue is what's happening around the world is there is still a component shortage that is causing products, causing like baseboards and chips and whatever to not even be sourceable. So if you can't build the boards to fix the cameras, then they're not really repairable. So that's problem number one. If the chips aren't even available and they don't make the boards anymore, you can't fix something that you can't service. But with that being said, the U.S. office is trying to start a chargeable repair service. There's a couple of things that is a challenge with that. Being an Australian company, we need to figure out how we can actually charge in the U.S. So that's hurdle number one. And then sourcing parts. That's problem number two. But the plan is to get enough parts and to get that repair department online. And we're like 85% there, to be honest with you. But there's a few legal hurdles that we're going to have to jump through in order to make that happen. So we're working on that. That is something that we're trying to get up and running and good to go. And that is a priority here for the support office. I'll also tell you this little secret, though, that I like this camera shot, by the way, because it shows the entire R820. I'll give you a little kind of behind the curtains thing here. When I signed on all these years ago, 4 years ago, to work with Bird Dog, almost 5 years now, the repair department conversation was not a part of my employment. That is something that we have had to create from the ground up on our own, because in the rest of the world, distributors offer this as a part of their service. But in the US, there aren't any distributors really that offer a, tier 1 repair service. That's just not a part of the business model. And it's interesting because you would think that you'd want to be able to offer that service, but it isn't on the priority list. And so it became a part of my priority list, because now for 2.5 years, I was on my own. I did this by myself. And that quickly became unsustainable because Bird Dog became very popular, especially during pandemic years. So I had to hire some people and help me out with that. So we now have a guy that does repairs to the board level and is able to swap out chips and whatever and actually service the products. Not at a component level, but that might be something that we look at in the future. What it does do, though, is we've had to generate this repair department so that we can service products. It's not something that we can rely on our distributors, at least in North America, to provide. And so that's what we're up to, is figuring that out. Well, the next step, now that products are getting to end of life, but they continue to need to be serviced, is how do we do that? And so our sights are on how do we do that appropriately, set proper levels of expectations about the products, because there are a lot of manufacturers in the world that will just say, we'll honor it till the end of the warranty, but after that, you're on your own. And I mean, big companies do that. Apple does that. If you take an iPhone 10 in and it's got a cracked screen, they're going to say, buy a new phone. They're not going to give you an option to fix it from the manufacturer. They're going to say, go and find somebody that'll do the repair for you and make you do it yourself. And it would be easy to do that, honestly. It would be a lot less work to run the model that way. But what we're hearing more about, I guess, is what I should say, is people are looking for a repair service after warranty. It would be a chargeable service, and potentially could be something that we would need to develop. I don't know how much money is in it, and that will really tell how much we can do, is if we can be profitable in doing it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're definitely having the conversations. People are definitely talking about that. So it's on the horizon. Probably have something sorted out by mid-year or so, I think, in terms of what we're actually going to do. So the super long answer, Will, is we're working on that. We're hoping to have some sort of solution for that. So we have a few Pi 4 sitting around. What's the connection to Stream Deck? I'm going to throw that back to... Who was it that said that? Somebody said something about Pi's. Pi 4. Oh, Dark Acid. Stream Deck would be great. Again, only if I could get my hands on some Pi 4. So Transmission's interested in that conversation, Dark Acid. You are welcome, Facebook user. I'm sorry that StreamYard doesn't bring your information across, so I can at least call you by your name, but whatever. I had my first stream last Friday with our new Netgear 4250 family switch. Right on. Well done. You went with the 4210PX. Very cool. Had a little normal setup time needed, which I allowed for, and it performed beautifully. I didn't stretch it too far at all during the stream. That's probably wise for your first time out. Also, I recently found a vendor, which I'd done work with before, who's willing to fix my P200. A real simple problem with a bent copper wire inside the NDI port. There you go. Boom. Hey, can you email me at help@birddog.tv and tell me who that was? I would love to know their name. Maybe that's something we can work with. You are welcome, Will. Thanks for being on the show today. I appreciate that. I should also take a pause here and say I have a handful of snacks on stream stuff that I want to get to, and we need to get on with that. Oh, I didn't even start the timer. But we're easily going to run an hour here because we're already at 11:30. We're halfway through, and I have a bunch of snacks on stream stuff that the boys set up for me. So without further ado, let's do that.
John's just making up stuff to start drama.
Look, I don't know.
Look at him.
Wish me luck, folks. It's my first Vegemite experience.
Final, this is like cheese flavor or something. It doesn't really look too appetizing.
Good golly, this is something else, man.
Here's the thing about Pop Rocks, and I don't know if I'm the only one like this. Pop Rocks have always been a social experience for me.
I did not think that is what you were going to say. That's hilarious.
That is awful. Oh, God, that's so bad. Jeez. Holy smokes, man.
Well, it is that time for a little snacks on stream action. And so I'm excited that today we've got a couple of options. First, I've got my coffee in my Ember mug, which is still nice and toasty warm. But Bird Dog Brayton has hooked me up with some snacks on stream mystery box. So I don't know what's in there. And then Balu walked in with a Canadian delicacy known as a Nanaimo bar. And so giddy up, we are going to try that today as well. But first, I want to find out what's going on in here because you never know. You never know at a mystery box what Brayton's up to. So here we go, boy. What is this thing? I'm going to have to... Oh, wait. That looks like some sort of... It says cola on it. So it's like a cola jelly thing. Okay. This is Tiny Teddy. Pardon? Tiny Teddy honey. Feels like cookies. It says Grumpy groaned grouchily when he was stung on the nose by a bee. Okay. All right. So this is an Australian food, evidently. Yeah, it is. .com.au. All right. So from Australia, we're going to get some Tiny Teddy crackers. This Asian cola chewy snack, and then these were in the office yesterday. I saw. Puchow? Is that how that's said? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm excited about these, Brayton. This is a good selection here that you got. And if this doesn't work out, we're gonna eat this giant chocolate Nanaimo bar, and I know that's gonna be good. So, giddy up. That's what I have to say about that. All right. So let's go with that while we continue answering. Angus says Nanaimo bars are wonderful. I would agree. Big fan of those. I had those growing up all my life. So Tiny Teddy's is Australian. The other two are Japanese. Okay, cool. There's a BitFocus companion app for Pi 4. If you get your hands on PoE Power Hat, it would run your Stream Deck with a single Ethernet cable at the same time. Interesting. That is very interesting. All right, so Japanese snack first. The cola. It looks like it's sugar, hopefully. So smells like a root beer or something, maybe. Oh man. Oh. I don't think this thing is fresh. All right. Oh. It is like an expired chewy gummy bear. It does have a soda flavor to it. But wow. That is quite a stiff. That's a stiff chew, my friends. Okay. The sugar that coats the candy is the best part so far. transmission's going to give that a try. Whoa, that exploded on my shirt. Holy smokes. All right. Thank you for saying it correctly, because I have been saying Nanaimo wrong for the last month. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Nanaimo bars. That could be my Canadianness not saying it right, but they are very common in Canada. Like, they sell them in the store. I don't know where you got this, but giddy up. I'm excited about that. Wow, this candy is something else. Sometimes I would just opt for a power bank and we are talking wireless Stream Deck. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Interesting. That candy was from the snack that Beep Chirp. Oh, man. Yeah, it is old then. Beep Chirp hasn't sent candy in a while, so this would explain why there's quite the... It's requiring some energy here. Get this one down. You would know better than I. I got it from a store in Wisconsin. When were you in Wisconsin? What on earth? When were you there? You said it right, and I'm also jealous. Yeah, Pandorica knows Nanaimo bars. That's funny. Ugh. It's like stuck in my teeth. I'm gonna pull up my fillings. It's not sticky. It's just like a really old gummy bear. I'm still eating it. Something else. Or you ordered them on Amazon. Okay, cool. I was like, wait, when were you in Wisconsin? I'm sad that John's not trying more hot stuff. Oh, don't worry. I tried, last week I tried Cinefuego Toast Crunch, which was basically like hot tamale / cinnamon toast crunch mixed. And the more you ate it, the stronger the cinnamon got. So, all right, this one is Puchow. I think I'm saying that right. Maybe not. Ooh, pretty stiff. Stiff, chewy candy, but good flavor. I haven't been to Wisconsin in like 6 years. Yeah, me neither, actually. It's been probably 10 or 12 years since I've been up there. Actually, it has been about 12 years since I've been up there. Now I think of it. The sound, it's like the movie Cars. Damn. Okay. So the yellow candy was better than the stale Japanese candy that was supposed to taste like some sort of sugary beverage. Now these look like Teddy Grahams. So here's hoping. Here's hoping that's what they are. Oh. Hey, what's going on, Baz? Is it Baz Adrian? Is that how we're saying this username? Hey, what's going on? I didn't realize that you were I thought you were on here chatting before. But good stuff. The sound, it's like the movie Cars. What sound is like the movie Cars? Me chewing? Is that what you're referring to? These are okay. Yeah, these aren't bad. But it might be because I'm motivated to get through these so I can eat that Nanaimo bar. So my Snacks on Stream manager, Brayton, he is, let's say today he's 3 for 3. They're all fine. Other than that one that was stale. But even that wasn't bad. Lightning says ka-chow. Oh. I see. Am I saying that right? That candy? We think I'm saying it right? Maybe we should ask somebody from Japan. That might be a little more accurate. I need to have more guests on this show. Yeah, these are good. They're like they are like Teddy Grahams. Yeah, good stuff. All right. While I eat these before the Nanaimo bar, let's switch over to my Bird Dog Play. Here we go. All right. We're going to update this to, so we're sitting on 13, which was the latest as of yesterday. And now we've got 14. And the major thing that you're all going to be really excited about here is that this enables multicast on the Play, which is like kind of a critical piece because you want to run lots of these on your network, right? So, all right, that's done. Boom. Bird Dog Play. This is the one that I'm using to look at my multi-viewer out of vMix. And we're running 13. So we're going to head over to the system menu after we've logged in. And let's go system. Now, remember, folks, this is a zip file. And you don't upload the zip file. You upload the FW file. So we need to extract that one. And then we upload the FW file, okay? And the big thing about this is it enables the multicast Mamma Jamma. So this is a multicast network that I have in here. All these cameras are running on multicast. The thing that's not running on multicast is my Play. So screen just went black. And as you can see there, the update's happening. The Play is now rebooting. There's a Bird Dog logo that just showed, and now it's gone. Let's go ahead and refresh this screen. I wonder if it'll change the short name or not. You never know with firmware updates what it's going to wipe and what's going to keep. Which we need to kind of sort that out and figure out how that works. But let's have a look-see. And let's see what you guys are saying. Lightning McQueen. Awesome. I have no idea, but let's go with that. Yeah, a guest would be amazing. We're sick and tired of hearing you talk, John. Did you try the new firmware on the Play? And Dark Acid says, yes, we are now. Starting from scratch. All right, so the web UI is back. I think I've got a new IP address. Oh, but I kept the short name, so that's good news. Go ahead and log in. We have a QR code on the screen, so it's not linked to a source. After you do the firmware update, you're going to have to relink the source. And so we're going to go to AV Setup. A couple things here. First, we want to make sure that we belong to the Bird Dog group, right? So this computer, these cameras, they're all in a specific group. And so we are going to click Save. And for some reason, it's called Save and not Download. So maybe I'll talk to the boys about that. And here, my group is called Studio 2901. And we're going to save that. Okay. Save. We're going to choose this file. Choose you. Okay, so here, group name, upload. And it's going to dump us back to the dashboard. So I see that hasn't changed. Go back to system. Studio 2901 is in the list. Boom, right there. So, good news. Oh, wait. I don't have to do that. Wait, where is it? There we go.
Good news, everyone!
All right, so this is now up and running. I should really learn what my sound effects are. And now, what I want to do is go to the dashboard and hit device restart. And then I'm going to go to the AV setup list because that restarts the NDI chip, right? So now I'm going to wait. Got a green screen. Now I have the Hello Play screen. And I'm going to set up my two sources. The first is, actually, you know what? Let's go back here, back to network, and let's change this to multicast because that's really what this update's what I'm most excited for. I don't know about you, but this is my show, so I get to be excited about stuff. Okay, so I'm going to hit apply, multicast, go to dashboard, hit restart again. It's going to restart my screen. Now I'm going to go to AV setup, and I'm going to look for NDI devices. So refresh 2 or 3 times. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Decode, there's my beautiful list. And this is output 3. And then the failover source, I want this to be the company calendar, which is also currently running. I'm going to hit apply. Wait for the screen. Boom, there it is. And Yep, it's about the same as it was before, but everything is good to go there. Now, the real test will be, does the failover work? Because it hadn't in the past on the original firmware on 08. So we want to be sure that that's working. But as of right now, it does appear that update worked just fine. There's no other major things on the web UI that have changed, but this that update worked perfectly. Like it was seamless. So love it. And it looks like the CPU usage is actually up a little bit. What will I do here? So let's do this. I'm going to go over to my the CPU is working. I've noticed that, and I'm pretty sure it's just because it's the ARM processor, and so it's not like a huge, really a high capable processor. But yeah, it averages at 80% on the play, and the network bandwidth is only at like 15%. So it seems to me that is pretty common. Why don't I have this set here? What is that? Why? Okay. Well, anyways. Yeah, so it seems to me that that's pretty common. I'm going to cut back over to this. That 85 or 86, is the CPU usage. And then the network is definitely pretty high as well. So anyway. Interesting. Okay. So that's pretty common, I think. The transport method is listed as multicast now. So we would need to double check and make sure that our network is running multicast. And as I recall, let's see if I remember what the IP address is of this switch. Oh, wow, did I get it? I did get it. Oh, that's fancy. All right, so now we're back on the 4250, and I don't even know which port this guy's plugged into, but we can probably find out. It looks like actually he's in 1 or 2, if I'm not mistaken, and I have been before, so let's not put too much stock into that. So yeah, 0 watts being transmitted. There's a good chance this is 125. That's it. So port number 1 is where we be at, and probably need to refresh the screen or something to transmit rate 129. I'm assuming that's transmitted to the device, right? Not the device transmitting. We're talking about the NIC card on here. So it's transmitting. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Multicast. Port 1. Oh, well, there's the information right there. It does actually have a multicast address. Oh, yeah, and here are the cameras. Yeah, 10 and 11. Interesting. I wonder which camera is not running multicast then. So we can confirm that that's what's going on here, which is kind of nice. Let me jump back over to the chat here real quick. Good old Futurama. Yes. Good times. I got a few Futurama and I got a few Simpsons sound bites on here. So that CPU was working. It can decode HX and HB. HB? I don't know about HB. It can do HX2, HX3, and full NDI. I mean, if it gets the job done, I have no problem. Could you show us how decoding works with HX? I could, but I don't have an HX source in this office yet. We have a camera that is running the Silicon 2 update, but it's over in the agent office, and it is not available, as I recall. So we will do that. Yeah, let's do that next week. I'm pretty sure that planning on... Actually, let me ask. Pretty sure we're supposed to have a special guest on Thursday. So we'll ask and see what he says. My young apprentice. Okay, so did you, are you using a default profile in the Netgear? Yes, I'm using the NDI5 profile on here. And so that is my go-to because the NDI5 profile already has the multicast configuration done. So I spoke to the lead engineer over at Netgear, and shout out to Netgear and their really great customer support. So I'll put this up here. If you have a 4250, write this down, proavdesign@netgear.com. If you have questions about the 4250 or how they work with Bird Dog products, boom. This is a free resource for you to reach out to them and ask questions about the Switch. They've always responded to me real well, and granted, I'm the head of support, so maybe that has something to do with it. But every time I've interacted with them, they're aces over there, and so can't say enough good things about them. And it's a free resource. So if you buy this Switch, yes, it's a little expensive, but you get NDI capable switching, properly configured for you already, and free support. So giddy up. You're not going to get that from Cisco. You're not going to get that from other switching companies, even Unify. Dude, I've tried to contact Unify support. Yeah, pass. Hard pass. Not cool. So yes, a little more expensive, but well worth the cost in the long run, especially if you're not a network administrator or you're not like certified or whatever. So you need to go to multicast. But I am running multicast. That's the whole point of what I just did. Oh, CDW have 4250s on sale. What? They're on sales. CDW have M4250s on sales, boys. Hey, if you're in the market for a 4250, apparently CDW has them on sale right now. So giddy up. High bandwidth. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. We would say full NDI, but yes, okay, understood. So yes, the Play can decode HX2, HX3, and full NDI, SMPTE resolutions, okay? And there are some limitations on that. So be sure you check out the tech spec website, birddog.tv/play. Let's try again. birddog.tv/play-tech specs. TECHSPECS. Tech specs, and that will take you to the whole list of resolutions we expect Play to be working. So boom, there you go. Dark Acid. I don't know if I did this or someone else did this, but you are welcome. Hey, from Poland, what's going on, Elite? How are you? Hopefully things are going well over in Poland. I used to have a guy that lived in Poland that works for Bird Dog, but he's now back in Melbourne. Netgear. I love it too. Yeah. I'm a big Netgear fan, and they have been generous with their time and their support, and have thought things through with me in real time and whatever. And they even met me at NAB and did like a free interview, which was great. I got to meet John, who's like one of their frontmen that do a lot of their online presence stuff. So, and sometimes he pops on here every now and then. But John and I had a good little chat, and we talked about what Netgear's up to and all that stuff. So it was great. And yeah, really, really good guys over there. And gals. The whole gambit. Okay, so let's one more go back to my overhead here. Whoa, that's out of focus. Evidently it doesn't know what to focus on. My poor P100. Okay, there we go. So these are the remnants of what was left of Snacks on Stream Part 1. Shout out to my Snacks on Stream managers and his Snacks on Stream assistant. But yeah, we've got Nanaimo bar, which I'm pumped, man. This is what I look like when I'm pumped, by the way. So it is sealed up quite well. Those Wisconsinites know how to tear it up. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get into it. But here, let me do this on camera. There we go. Wowzers. I'm sure it's not low in calories, but it looks amazing. And my mom either used to make I think she made them for a while, and then she started buying them. This one is way thicker than the ones she would make. But yeah, I'm excited about this. So shout out to Balu for the extra snack on stream today. And let's find out what we're into. Oh my word. Yeah. Yeah. I could eat a whole box of these. And that takes me back. That would be really dangerous. Really dangerous. Because I don't need to eat a whole box of those. Wow. Pretty great. Pretty great. I approve. All right. I mean, my Nighthawk home router worked for like 8 years. Hey, if that's how you want to roll, I'm not going to stop you. I am going to probably not think too much about it if you come to me with support questions, but you'd be surprised what people have to do, especially folks who have a real tight budget. You know, like I totally get that. I've worked for institutions that have no budgets, and I understand. Oh, smokes. This is a lot of sugar. It's so good, though. Yeah. Apparently, Balu has something lined up for Thursday as well, so I know this is riveting content, but there will be more snacks on stream on Thursday, so there you go. Now, somebody really wants me to do spicy stuff. I might have to. We do have some packs of ramen out there, so we could go back down memory lane. Yeah. That thing is insanely good. Well done. For NDI, you need a decent switch. Yeah. I would agree. Here's the thing. And, and I've said this before. This is going to be a repeat for a lot of you. But I think the way that I've understood the NDI conversation. Oh, and hey, shout out to Last Course Sensations. Nanaimo bars. 12 ounces, sweet bites, small delights. This box was full of Nanaimo bars when Balu walked in the office this morning. So I'm hoping the other guys have eaten most of them, because I should not be tempted to eat another one of those probably this month. But I will be if I walk out there and they're sitting out there. Okay, so let's wash it down with some coffee. Wash it down if I were my in-laws. And actually my wife's grandmother in particular says wash it down. And the first time I heard that, I was like, she said, "Come wash your hands for dinner." And I was like, what does she want me to do? Very confused. But then my wife informed me, no, that's just the way she says the word wash. And I was like, one left. If it's still there, it will be gone when I walk out after the show. Okay, so let's wash it down with some coffee. This show not brought to you by Ember Mugs. Keep your coffee hot and your creamer curdled. I'm going to make that into a soundbite and just have it as a Stream Deck sound. All right, so I was going to go to talk about. Dang it! It was right there, and now I have. Oh, okay. So NDI networking switchers and equipment. So I've said this before and ad nauseum and for some of you, but I do believe that NDI, the community that supports NDI, really screwed the pooch on the messaging around the simplicity of NDI. And they should have started with the conversation about 2110 because that's what they were comparing it to. And so they should have said 2110 requires all of this stuff. Isn't that ridiculous? Nobody can afford that. And then been like, but NDI requires these things. And so instead of this giant laundry list, you just have this 6 items that you need to pay attention to. Instead, they went a little too far and said, it just works. And that has hurt a lot of people over the years because they buy the product and realize, I just bought an expensive camera that I can plug into any network and it will just work. Here, let me set it up like I'm used to setting up my Dante networks and it will just work. And then they don't get the performance they thought they were going to get. So along comes Netgear a couple of years later. And they said, you know what? It should just work, but there are some requirements. And so let's make a unit that people can buy that it will just work. So, whoa, drop frames. What's going on there? Whoa, massive drop frames. What is going on? Hang on one second here. Maybe I can hear the fan on my computer running. So let's quit Chrome because everybody knows that's probably what's happening. Quit. All right. Let's see if that's any better. So anyways, Netgear came along and kind of solved the problem as far as I'm concerned. And that's great because we needed somebody to solve that problem. And that's what innovation is. It's people solving problems and providing those solutions for others. So, like I said, I can't speak highly enough about Netgear and the 4250 line. Right now, it is the bee's knees. If you can get the SFP Plus models, then you can go multi-mode fiber. And yeah, have a lightning fast network that can handle a lot of multicast traffic. So giddy up. They're also the only switching company that I know of that is supporting the NDI protocol as a proper AV protocol. So if you're getting into the NDI realm, especially the Bird Dog realm, where IMAG is king, ooh, I should tell you that story too. Then seriously consider budgeting for a halfway decent 4250 because, or a couple, like 2 of the smaller ones, and then putting them together with the SFP port, or again, if you can get a couple of the SFP Plus ones, even better. So one of the things that strikes a memory with me is I was online and I just typed in at random PTZ optics versus Bird Dog cameras, and of course the Reddit forums came up. And on most of the Reddit forums, I'm really thrilled about this, is that Bird Dog was highly spoke about in comparison to, a company that's been around for quite a while, including the Panasonic brand. And Panasonic lenses, whatever. But like Bird Dog was a part of the tangible conversations of, if I'm getting into this NDI game, what do I want to do? And the common thread was 2 things. The first is, why would you go with HX if NDI full is an option? That was cool. Somebody made the case, well, I'm into IMAG and we are a full NDI operation, and Bird Dog is the only way to do that because it's the lowest latency for NDI. Cool. The other thing, and this little shout out to my guys, is they said Bird Dog support is parallel to none. They said, good luck getting a hold of anybody at any of the other companies. And I thought that was a tremendous compliment to my team because it's true. I genuinely believe that the Bird Dog support guys are the best at the NDI support game. And so we shoot for that goal in mind, and we try and provide the best service so that there's a reason why you choose Bird Dog. And, we get people all the time that, you're not going to, like we haven't figured out the out of warranty repair thing yet. And so everybody's, I'm never dealing with this again. Well, honestly, we see those names come back after a while because they go to Panasonic and then they want to get an out of warranty repair there, and they can't even get a hold of anybody at support. And we're here. We're here most days. It's pretty rare that that the whole office is shut down. There's usually 1 agent at least functioning during the day, and normally there are 3. So again, perfect storm. Sometimes people are out, and we're real people too. We're not reading from a script. We're not looking at a book of answers. I told you about my Amazon experience where an Amazon truck was driving down the road with its doors open and packages were flying out. So he took a corner and I saw 2 or 3 fall out together. So I stopped my truck and I put them in the truck and I went home and I contacted Amazon support on their chat and said, hey, I got these packages. Pick these up off the road. They're somebody's packages. They're probably waiting for them. And Amazon, the chat, they couldn't comprehend my problem. That I had picked up someone else's packages and I'm trying to get them delivered. They're at my house. Come pick them up and deliver them. You know, it was the next couple of subdivisions over. So they said, wow, they kept responding. Well, we apologize for the delay. Your packages will be out for delivery soon. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And I explained it again. And it was, we apologize. Please give us a couple of days to deliver. And I was like, oh my gosh, this person either knows enough English to ask for a tracking number or is not able to type real answers. And that Angus made that case when I talked about this. So I ended up just delivering them myself. Just drove them over there. It's like, this is such a total waste. Eventually I did get they were like, it sounds like you need a phone call. And so somebody called me and the lady was like, wow, when people pick up packages that aren't their own, they normally just keep them. And I was like, people just keep stuff that's not theirs? That's weird. Like, is that really where we're at here, society? Is like I find an Amazon package that's been misdelivered or it's fallen off a truck and I like take it home and open it and now it's mine? Like, that's weird. It's not finders keepers. Anyway, weird. But yeah, we had a good anyways, I just delivered it, but I was like, if that's the customer service that people are expecting, Bird Dog will easily kill those expectations quickly. And it's been a real chore. I mean, part of the job is actually fixing the product, getting it to work, and genuine issues that are out there. Part of it is just training people that like support. It's not bad. Don't worry about contacting us. We're good people over here. We care about what's going on. And if you work with us or you come at us with a positive attitude or like, hey, help me fix this. Yeah, for sure. We will definitely help you fix it. If you're frustrated and you contact us and you're yelling at us, that's different. But if you're like, hey, I've tried everything I can't figure this out. Could somebody, is there any ideas that you can give us? Yeah, our support agents can help you with that. And we're happy to give you a hand. So there you go. Okay, sorry. I am back to Dark Acid here. I have a very expensive Aruba switch that would only work with like 1 million config changes. I've heard that about Aruba. I've never gotten to like run an install with Aruba, but I've heard about it. And I've heard it's not super intuitive to like manage and set up and deploy and all that. Once it's deployed, it's rock solid. Like it's a champ, but it's one of those stupid things that's like unique to them. That's why when people are like, I want to become a network administrator, I always say take the Network Plus course first and then do your certification in whatever you want to do. But if you go and you get like your CCNA or something like that, that's very Cisco specific. So do your Network Plus, understand networks in general and how it works, and then you'll be way more diverse. And I can recommend a Udemy course on that if you're at all interested in learning more about networks. The 4250 are all layer 3 capable. So if you buy a small switch, you can later connect it to a bigger switch. Agreed. That is one of the coolest things about Netgear is it's a standalone unit that has layer 3 capability. So you can run a DHCP service on the VLANs that you're setting up inside the switch. It's so cool. It's really well done. And I'm very, very happy about that. And I think, honestly, for the price, you're getting a huge deal. You don't understand. Configuration is everything with NDI and, well, capability too. But people just plug it in. It just works. Well, what they hear is there's no network requirements, and that's not true. There are network requirements for NDI. You need to have a layer 3 network, 100%. You need to expect to run this on DHCP and use DHCP reservation lists if you need to keep the IPs the same. There are things that even New Tech says that are requirements for NDI. So don't just sweep them under the rug and think nothing about networking, because you absolutely need to be thinking about the network, because we're running 140 megabits a second over each of these connections in unicast. So you need to definitely be sure that you're thinking about the network. And if you're getting stuttering or jitter or whatever, that's where you need to go first, because I'm pretty confident it's not the product. It's probably your connection to how you're passing the packets. That's very, very, very common. What's going on, iPhone? How are you? Warsaw, Poland. Good to see you again. Thanks for jumping on. We have you every Tuesday, Thursday. It's an assurance that somebody would want to talk about their product twice every week. Yeah, it's true. Twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays. Here, let's do the little promo right now. So, twice a week here on the Bird Dog channel, Bird Dog Live. And if you don't know where that is, just subscribe to my YouTube page, which is birddogjohn.tv. Everything that I do for support is done there on that channel, as well as some of it is ported out to other platforms and whatever. But this, if you subscribe to this, which this channel is growing a little bit, just like 160 people. That's our subscriptions. That's really cool. If you haven't done so already, though, birddogjohn, JON.TV, hit the subscribe button over there. You don't even have to like and like the bell and hit the bell, whatever it is. Just subscribe to it. All my stuff will be up there. Any shows that you miss, you can definitely check out there. I'm always streaming to there. That's where we are today. That's the primary site. And that's a little redirect. Thank you to Beep Chirp. And then, of course, twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, 11 to 12, at least to 12. Now, we're at 12:11 here in the U.S. Eastern Time, so we always go over, usually. I rarely go right to it unless I've got an appointment at 1 or something like that. So try and give you guys some time. Definitely give you time to trickle in and hang out with us. So, yes, twice a week. I'm happy to talk about products. And the deal is, if I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. And I'll promise you I'll try and find out, but I don't know. And we'll work with you. But I won't blow smoke. I won't tell you something that's not true. So if you come to support, you're going to get the truth, even if the truth is not a great sales pitch. I'll promise you that, okay? And that's the difference, is that's not what we're doing here. I'm not selling you the product. I'm telling you what it can do. And if I tell you something that's not true, all that's going to do is make you frustrated. Well, why would I base my show on something that's going to make you frustrated? That just doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm not going to do that to you. Come here, hang out, meet some cool people in the industry too, that are here all the time. So yeah, it'd be great to have you join our little NDI community here and hang out whenever you can. Twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, starting at 11. And usually going to about 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. There were some shows that were like 2 o'clock in the past. Last year, I was doing 3-hour shows, and I walk out, and my team was like, man, they're like going longer and longer. What's going on? I'm like, we just got lots to talk about. That's all. Now, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have some people from the company here at the office. And so I don't know what that means, if I'm going to get any of them on. I might want to try and set up this studio to do an interview. Maybe. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what I can come up with. Hey, that's so true. Hey, what's going on, Matt? So true about support. Y'all are truly the best. Oh! That's like, oh, hang on, y'all. Hang on. Yeah, let's go. Thanks, Matt. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. iPhone likes something. Hello, best practice on how to set up Bird Dog multicast gear with a non-M4250 setup. Are there some written, detailed guidelines? Are there profiles for NDI 4 or 5? It's because of RUDP, IGMP, snooping, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm assuming you mean a non-M4250, Marcus. And how's it going, man? Thanks for coming on today. If you mean non-M4250, well, let's go down that road in a minute. If you're using a 4250, use the NDI 5 profile on the 4250. Multicast is set up. You're good to go there. You just have to enable it on your devices and then monitor your sources and make sure things are going well. But if you are not using an M4250, okay, here's the thing is switch manufacturers do and accomplish multicast differently across the fleet. And so the thing you want to find out is how to do multicast correctly for your brand. Okay, it is a configuration that you need to set up and you need to walk through configuring so like unicast Doesn't really do it very well. Cisco have a multicast configuration, but you need to go and find out exactly what command lines you need to run to get all that working. Aruba, I'm sure, is the same way. MikroTik, same way. They're all going to do it slightly differently and all going to have you. Now, the beautiful thing about this is you're not really alone here. YouTube will have lots of tutorials on how to do that, likely. So be sure, first of all, that you understand the concept of multicast and how that actually is functioning. And if your switch is capable of doing it, your whole network for that matter, and then how to configure that network correctly to actually handle those multicast packets. Because what's going on is, instead of the endpoints communicating with each other and sending the packets, the real deal is the network is now responsible for the successful delivery of all of those packets. And if you've got a great, robust network, you can leverage the processing power of the network to get those packets across. But if you just run in some unmanaged something or some smart switch, don't do it. Don't do it. It'll be an endless frustration. So be sure you buy quality gear if you're going to do multicast, and if you're going to buy anything, $42.50 all day. Hey, live on iPhone. So moving to 10 gig, use Netgear switches and NewTek NRS8 array. Works great with a P200 and Apple TV 4K via Sienna. Software as decoders. It all works great. Oh, that's cool. Huh. If you ever get a chance to record a short little video on your phone, would you email that to help@birddog.tv? I'd love to see that kind of from start to finish, kind of going from P200 and then into the switch, into the array, and then out the Apple TV. Just 10 seconds, just showing me your setup. That'd be really cool to see. Hey, sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the stream. Currently at 27,000 on an airplane. What Network Plus class do you suggest? Oh, hey, what's going on, Matt? That great question, of course. Thank you. So there's a Network Plus course on udemy.com that I took as a refresher ages ago that I use, and it is called the CompTIA Network Plus. Nope, not that one. Whoops. TA Network Plus. Here it is. This one is called Total CompTIA Network Plus certification, and on Udemy, I'll put a link in the chat. But in Udemy, the code is N as in Nancy 10-007. The only thing you have to get past is the guy wears a cowboy hat. But he's a really good teacher, and he knows his stuff, and he explains it really well. So if you're just getting into it, then you definitely should check it out. But I will put a link in all of the chat. Oh, crap. Oh, there. Network Plus. Yep, that one. So that course is pretty good, and it's regularly on sale. So it's not super expensive, but he covers everything. And he preps you for the exam. Obviously, you don't have to take the exam, but he preps you for it. And yeah, it's great. I watch it every 6 months or so, maybe once a year, depending on how busy I get. But it's just a good refresher, keeps things relevant, and super helpful. So I have personally used that one before. Again, you have to get past the cowboy hat, but he's a good teacher. So. Come on, Ember. How is this thing already dead? Man, the battery in that thing's not doing well. It's good for an hour, and then it dies. The most important spec on the Switch is the packet buffer size. Well, yes and no, because if you start filling up that packet buffer, then and the Switch can't catch up, which generally in a real world in a real world data transfer, the packet buffer is not a huge deal because you send a file and it's a finite amount of data, but in NDI, it's an endless amount of data. And so if the packet buffer starts to be used, then it will eventually fill up and then dump everything because it's full. And so you want to be sure actually that your switch is able to process, the appropriate amount of data, which is why I tell people not to load up switches. Oh, I've got a 24 port switch. I'm going to put 20 NDI devices. It's like, okay, dude, just hang on. Now, the cool thing about multicast is it doesn't actually transport the data until something is subscribed to it. Matter of fact, NDI is really that way. But you don't normally put sources on the network to not be used. So perhaps if you had you had a production suite and you had 3 or 4 different rooms and you were using one room at a time but still producing out of the same, okay, then that's probably fine. But if you're using if you're in an auditorium and you're producing a show and you've got 10 sources on all the time, you might want to break up the switch load with 2 smaller switches of comparable capability and trunk them together, and let them operate in tandem instead of making one switch do everything. But that is a networking preference. Like, that is me, how I like to design things. That's not a hard and fast rule. That's up to you as the network designer. And some people are like, well, I'm not a network admin. Okay, well, then my advice is many hands make light work. So let's get a couple of switches that are 4250s, but maybe they're the 2 of the 12 port models or 10 port models or whatever they are, and put those in and link them together with 2 SFP connections so that we're running 2 gig backbone, and then we can run 3 cameras and a computer on one set and another 5 cameras on another, and then share the load a little bit, and then everything in multicast so that it's just a single source. So if somebody plugs in a play and wants to watch my output, it's not going to create additional work. But that's just, again, it's just a preference. And you got to understand too, like, people think that networks are all the same, and they're not. Right from their inception, they're not the same. Right from when somebody starts designing it, the way that I design a network is not going to be the way that the CEO, that Dan Mile, is going to design his network. It's not the same. And it depends on what we're doing, right? So is it a data network? Is it an NDI network? Is it going to be a VoIP network? Is it going to be data share network? Is it going to be what are you doing with it? And until you really answer those questions, you don't know what you're dealing with, and your requirements are going to be different than mine. So it's exclusively an NDI network. Okay, great. That's different than I've got guys working on computers answering tickets over the internet. So I'm going to need to have a data network on at least one side of the VLAN, or in one VLAN at least. So it all differs. And so to boil it down to, well, no, a network's a network, it's like you really don't understand. That's like saying a car is a car. It's like, well, yeah, a vehicle can get you somewhere, but they differ greatly in everything else, from fuel economy to features. They're just not the same. And to oversimplify it is really, and that's really like, okay, so there's this dance then, right? Because the guys who are paying for them don't understand the nuance. But the guys who understand the nuance aren't the ones that can afford to buy the network. And so they have to pull money down from people who have bigger pockets than they do, oversimplify it so they understand the requirements, but then get something that's appropriate. And it's like this constant back and forth. It's just a constant. Anyway, rant over.
That's pretty neat.
So most of non-M4250s have ranging from 8 to 16, which are not good. M4250, on the other hand, has 32. That's true. I don't know about the non-M4250s, but the 4250s, yes, I do believe 32 is correct. Many don't realize multicast is only helpful when you need the same source to multiple screens, like the output to a switcher, a collection of individual sources. Yes. So here's some things about the NDI protocol. And like I briefly mentioned before, NDI doesn't actually send anything until you subscribe to it. So if these cameras are sitting in my studio but I turn vmix off and I walk away and nobody's watching, they're not putting out data onto the network. It's available to be subscribed to, but it's not actually like using the network. But as soon as I do subscribe to it, then it does. Now that, if we were to send my P200, for example, send that signal to my computer in my office, to this vmix, to, studio monitor, and it was running in TCP, each of those connections is 140 megs. Multicast gives you the option to make the network handle that traffic, but also only have one subscription. So one set of 140 megs hits the network, and it's up to the network to get that packet to the correct place. So that means that the burden on the network is really only 140 until it gets to the end point, to wherever the decoder is plugged into, and then it replicates the packet and sends it down. So you need a little more processing power to do multicast in that regard, but you need a whole lot less bandwidth to handle multicast. Now, multicast is a more sophisticated setup, much like static networks. People think, oh no, I'll just buy a bunch of bird dog stuff and set it to static, and then I'll just know what all, then I don't need a DHCP, and I don't need any routing tables, and I don't need any sort of MDNS, and I don't need. You don't understand how the NDI protocol is designed if that is the way that you think. I promise you don't understand. The original NDI protocol was designed on a DHCP TCP network with the expectation that you plug it in and the device receives an IP address, and then that information is stored on the network, not on the device. And that's a fundamental difference than how Dante works or than how other AV over IP stuff works. You need to have an MDNS, and if you don't have an MDNS, you have to run Discovery Server. I used to say, I recommend that you run Discovery Server or not do static networks at all. Now I say, if you're going to do static networks, you have to run Discovery Server. There are no exceptions. Just hands down, you have to, because it will fail eventually. It's not a matter of it might. You might think, oh, I run my network and it's perfectly fine. I promise you it will fail. And the first thing we're going to ask is, you're running in static, or are you running a Discovery Server? And if you do, you won't be having these issues. So.
How neat is that?
What's going on, Bay Area? How are you? Using multicast on a collection of individual sources going into a switcher doesn't add anything but complexity. Not necessarily. I mean, on a bunch of individuals, yes, you're correct. Most of this, so the conversation really started with Play getting multicast today overnight, and obviously Plays are decoders, and they're kind of intended to have a bunch of them on the backs of TVs throughout your institution. So if you have one, yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's just decoding one source, but usually people have 10 of them or something like that. So that's kind of where this conversation went. I'm running sources all over the place. We're testing stuff all the time, and so it actually helps a lot to have multicast because it's going to various decoders around the office. These sources are all coming into vMix, but they're also going elsewhere. So yeah, running in multicast is helpful because it keeps the load on the network pretty light. And the 4250 seems to be able to keep up with it, no problem. So, MICU update from today's firmware release is not taking on our A4 P200 cameras. I tried several different drives and cameras. Anyone else experiencing this? What's the error that you're getting? Not taking could be a bunch of things. So I just want to be sure that I'm clear as to what the issue is. Okay, 12:30. Good stuff. Was there anything else I wanted to touch on today? I am waiting to hear from potentially might have a guest on the show on Thursday. I don't know. But we will wait and see. And also, I used to have a friend that said also too, which is the same as saying also. Let me jump over to my calendar real quick. Okay, so I'm expecting, not next week, but the following week, I'm expecting some guests in my office. So I'm going to do what I can. And that should be probably on the Thursday, so the 9th, when they'll be around. I'll plan to do a show, but who knows if I'll get to have somebody on with me. And if I do, we'll definitely set up an interview. Maybe we'll have a couple. Who knows? I need to probably get another microphone. How can I do that? think about what I have. Anyway, we'll sort it out. I'm sure I can come up with something. Actually, yeah, I have one. We can use it. It's a different style of microphone. It's not quite as nice as the RE20. But yeah, we'll sort it out. So let's just wait for transmission. If he's still around, we'll give him a few more minutes before I kind of wrap things up here. There's a fair bit going on at the Bird Dog office, and some of it is wrapped up in projects that were underway prior to the new year. Some of it is a project that we started just recently, and 3 of the guys out in the office are working on that. And then, like I said, we have guests coming into town from the Bird Dog clan, so yeah, we'll check that out and see what's going on. Facebook user says, I have a problem with the new update for the P200. It says I have the wrong MICU version. Did you do the MICU update? And did you confirm that it is the latest MICU? Because I do believe it checks. You have to do the MICU update, and it has to be done correctly in order for this to go through. There's no error message. The web UI just displays an older MICU version 18 rather than the new version 26. So we're unable to proceed to step 2, following the update procedure as usual. So the MICU update didn't go through. And you followed my video, the 256 megabit video one. Sounds like we're having the same issue. Did you follow my 256 megabit video that I made about that? And if not, I can link you to it. What's going on, everybody? There's a big group of you guys watching right now. That's pretty cool. We so rarely have this many people on the show. So thanks for hanging around. Really appreciate that. Pretty exciting. Sounds like maybe we're gaining some ground. Well, while you're all here, if you haven't done so already, please head over to birddogjohn.tv and just subscribe to that YouTube channel. That's mine. That's anything I do on this channel, get put there. So if you're interested in continuing this conversation, I'm trying to get folks to subscribe over there, and that would be really helpful. So there you go. There's something you formatted. 32, 256 allocated as per your video. The video is where? On our knowledge database. We have a knowledge database that hosts all of our tutorials and everything. Or you could go to the YouTube page, I guess, the Bird Dog TV YouTube page, the one with the green bird. And that's where that is as well. Okay, so transmission, I would suggest a different USB stick if that's the case. I will have the guys here in the office do an update on a P200 and see how that goes. But I know QA has had this firmware, so I'm very confident it's working. The baseboard stuff is working. So definitely try a different USB stick if you haven't, or try BAT format. But yes. So the baseboard update is critical for this, and they created a mechanism in the firmware to not let you proceed until that's done. So if you're struggling with that, likely it's just a USB incompatibility, like the media is incompatible with the camera, and that's actually really common. But yes, I'm quite confident that this firmware has been put through the ringer, because I know the guy that's responsible for that, and he's not letting anything get out of his office until he confirms it. So be quite confident there. Our knowledge database, if you go to our website, birddog.tv, at the top it'll say support. Just hover over support, and then it'll say knowledge database, and in there just type in the search bar format, and it will say how to format a USB drive. And that's the latest video. It should be of me here in the studio, actually. The one before that I did at my home office ages ago, before we even had a studio. But now, I have the resources to create these videos here in the studio. So that's been better. I'm trying to figure out this microphone, man. Like, hang on one second. Because I don't mind it off to the side like this. How is it coming across? I also want to sit forward a bit. This chair. I need a different chair in this studio because it's. Anyway, all right. First world problems. Oh, geez. This is that PF120, by the way. It's pretty nice. I love this, the blue ambiance. So cool because it's blue here, but then it's not blue on the main shot, which I think is kind of neat. So it gives a little variety, a little something, you know. In the MICU update for the NDI 5 version, what is the MICU update for the new NDI 5 version the same one as the Silicon 2 beta? I don't think so. I'll have to double check on that because I'm sure. Well, I don't know because Silicon 2 came out so recently. I'm gonna want to make sure that they have the same functionality. Man, I gotta do some testing on these cameras because I'm a little bit behind, if you can't tell, on getting the latest firmware on these because they've come out quite quickly, which is great. I just haven't had time to follow up on it, so good stuff. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that stuff is happening and updates are coming out so quick that I don't even have time to test them. Because I'd rather bugs get squashed and you guys get fixes than for me to have adequate time to test it before that all goes down. So, yeesh. Alrighty. So let me try the baseboard update and make sure that that is not an issue. Transmission and Facebook user, if you guys are still having issues after trying a different USB stick and following the video, please open a ticket at help@birddog.tv, and I will try it here this afternoon and then let you know if I'm successful, because then we'll know if it's something local or if it's something greater that we need to be paying attention to. So, yeah, definitely let us know how that goes, and then we will giddy up from there. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, folks. It has been quite a busy beginning of the week, and it's not going to slow down for a while. And so I am excited, but also there's a lot going on. So a lot going on. But I will be back on Thursday. I don't know if I'll have a guest. I will announce it in the title if we do, or maybe I'll just say special guest. But we do want to cover some stuff there. Like I said, there's been a lot of changes that have been going on with our software, hardware, firmware, all that stuff. So we want to start talking a little bit more about that. And it would be better if it wasn't just me. Because I've got some good exposure to things, but I'm certainly not king of all knowledge. So it'd be good to have some people on there. We'll keep working on it. Okay, cool. Transmission, though, let me know. Shoot us a message, say, hey, I was talking to John today on the show about this, having issues with the MICU update. Be sure that you let me know if you're still having problems. And we'll give it a go here in the office. And then I can at least, if I don't hear back from you, I'll report on Thursday what's going on. And if I do hear back from you, then we can talk directly there. All right, kids, it has been real. A blast, a real blast. But yes, be sure to come back on Thursday and hang out with me on 11 o'clock Eastern time. We will do this again, and hopefully my Stream Deck will continue to work at that point. Everything now is working, but I had to change it all, so that was really annoying. But come back on Thursday. We'll go again, and I am going to get busy doing some recording and a few other things that are looming over me at this point. And then, we'll see you in a couple days. So take care of yourselves out there. It's been great chatting with you. Thank you so much for hanging out, and you are always welcome back on this channel to continue talking. We'd be happy to do that, and we will talk more about firmware stuff. We did the play. There is a new keyboard beta. Reach out to help@birddog.tv if you want the keyboard beta that fixes a couple of things. For those of you who have tickets about that, update your ticket and say, hey, can I get the beta to try that out? Or my team is working through the tickets. But you may not be the ticket on the top of the pile. So if you want to be on the top of the pile, respond, and they can get that over to you to give it a try. And then there is a camera update. So be sure that you check that out on the website to give all of those a try. Check the release notes too. You need to double check the release notes before you do updates so you know what you're getting into. Okay? All right, folks. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Look after each other. And we will see you in a couple of days. Take care. Bye, guys.